been in this league for a long time, and one of the things that, but something that interests me is the road record versus the home record, especially given that it's not always the most intimidating environment on the road in certain places. And in your experience, what is it that makes it so hard to win on the road in MLS?
I think home and road records are always very different, all over around the world. And if you factor in the circumstances that we have with travel issues, playing surfaces, time zones, hotel stay, all kind of things like that, travel time, they all factor in more than anything. They're different elements, different environments you're not used to. At times it could be a very intimidating environment for some. Maybe some that come play down here in Seattle or go play in Portland or Vancouver. I remember Toronto in its earlier years definitely gave the rival team, definitely away from home feel that wasn't something comfortable. So all those things factor in. There are numerous things. Look, there's not one league around the world that has to deal with the travel issues we have to deal with. In Mexico, our longest flight was when I was in TJ, and we had to go play in Chiapas, was maybe 3 hours, and you'd go one time zone. Other than that, it was an hour flight everywhere else. Here, you can go Los Angeles to New York. It's a 5.5 hour flight, cross 3 time zones, and back then, like when the Metro Stars were around, play on turf. That could take its toll.
Yeah.
It takes a toll on the body, it takes a toll on you mentally. Very different surfaces. A lot of teams don't have to deal with the surfaces we have to deal with. Home field advantage or not, those are just a few of the things that make it difficult playing in the MLS.
Do teams have a different mindset approaching a home game versus approaching a road game?
I think it all depends on the team you're playing. For my liking, you should never change your way of playing for an opponent. They should worry about you, but that's not always the case. Obviously, some teams are harder to play against for different circumstances, and you have to adjust, such as. So it's the way it is. It's not an easy league to play, and I'm sure any foreigner who comes here will tell you that's the first thing they realize. They weren't really expecting that to be the case. They didn't think that'd be in store for them, and as it usually is.
How did your broadcast work begin, and how do you think it's going, and how do you hope it develops?
It began last year when I was in Toronto. I got a phone call from the MLS digital department. We had just been eliminated by Montreal in that playoff game, and they asked if I wanted to come down to New York City and work with them a little. And something that my agent had been talking to me for a while. We'd had some contact, and I didn't know whether it'd be in the cards or whether if I even wanted to do it. So why not try it out? I tried it. It was refreshingly fun. It was something new. I did it with the MLS digital department. It went well, and from there I got a few phone calls from a few networks, and I started seeing this maybe as something I can do after. And to be quite honest, as you get older, you start planning ahead for what's after soccer. And I know I don't want to coach. That's what I do know. I don't want to coach, but I'd like to stick around and be involved with the game somehow. The game's given me so much, and it's something that I realize as I get older that I just need. I need to be around. So that's how it went. I got my first taste with Fox this past weekend on my off days, and it was fun. It's a lot of work. I didn't realize so much goes into it. So it's a newfound respect that I have for those guys. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely fun. And I thought it went well for me my first time. I hope it went well. I hope that people enjoyed what they heard, what they saw, and I'm looking forward to hopefully having a future with it. We'll see how it goes.
Kind of a random question for you from the league website. We're asking different guys around the league about favorite foods growing up. Did you have maybe a favorite home-cooked meal that had some sentimental value, get home from practice?
I'm not just saying this because she's my mother, but my mother can slay it in the kitchen. She's got a bunch of dishes, but my absolute favorite, they're called sopitos. It's my mom's twist on a sope, Mexican dish, and it's my favorite every time I come back to home or she comes and visits me. It's got to be the number one thing on the menu, and I'm not just saying it because she's my mother, but it's to die for.
Now, you've been a part of a lot of U.S. teams over the years, and you've seen a lot of different squads, and now I'm sure you've done research for the Copa. What are your reasonable expectations for the U.S. and Copa America?
I think Jurgen's assessment of us needing to be in the semifinals is a fair assessment. This is as good a chance as we're going to have in a major tournament. We're hosting a major tournament at home. We've got a deep enough pool. The talent is there for us to try to achieve something. Is it an easy group? No. But it'll never be an easy group in a major tournament. It'll never be an easy game. It doesn't matter who you face. It's a top-notch tournament. It's not going to be easy, but our goal has to be semis.